The road to 500 contracts. Not gonna lie, I think if you try this, you're a little crazy. However, in today's video, I will be going over all of these security contracts, giving you guys some tips and tricks and sort of explaining the best ways of doing these missions. So hopefully you do find this video helpful and hopefully you guys do enjoy. Now 500, if you don't know, why would you even go for 500? That just seems like an insane amount of work. Well, 500 is actually the limit for the passive income for the new business in the agency. In the agency office, you have a wall safe that every 48 minutes, it gets money into it. Well, by doing 500 contracts, you hit the maximum amount of passive income that safe generates, which is $50,000 every 48 minutes. Basically $50,000 every in-game day. It's not a lot up front, but of course, over time, like if you're playing this game for months on end, of course, that's going to add up very quickly. And that's a decent amount of money you get from doing these contracts. So while hitting 500 may not be for everyone, increasing and doing more and more of these contracts, all it does is get you more and more money in the end. If you don't want to hit 500 though, I would definitely recommend at least hitting 50 because there is an award for hitting 50. But with that being said, let's hop actually into the security contracts because there's a bunch of stuff that I want to share. So right off the bat, there are 3 different categories for these missions. And I'm guessing it's based off of the difficulty, although it was kind of hard to tell if one was more difficult than the other. But you'll actually notice when you do go to the website in your office or whatever, there is a professional category, a specialist category, and a specialist plus. These are the 3 different types. The professional pays between $30,000 and $45,000. The specialist is $45,000 to $60,000. And the specialist plus is $60,000 to $75,000. I would assume the ones that pay more would be like more difficult, but I don't know. They all kind of seemed relatively easy to me. So I don't really know what the deal is between these, but I would probably always go for the most expensive one or the one that pays the most, just because of course that's more money for you. But in addition to those 3 categories, there are 6 different categories for the actual mission themselves. And I'm going to be going one by one to give you guys some tips and tricks on each individual mission, because some of them are way easier than others. And I don't want you guys to make the same mistakes I made when I was playing through these contracts. So hopping into the first one, this first mission is actually called Asset Protection. And the reason I wanted to start with this one is because it's something you should never do. Out of all 6 of these new security contracts, this one is the worst. And it's the worst simply because, well, there's a time limit that you can't get around. You must wait 10 minutes at wherever the location is before the mission gets completed. It's not that this mission isn't easy, because I mean, it's relatively easy. You just, there's just NPCs, waves of NPCs coming. You can very easily take them out. The problem is that you just literally have to wait there for 10 minutes. And as we all know in GTA, time is money, thus making this one not very good for actually making money because you're spending so much time doing just nothing basically. So I'm not even going to give too many tips on this particular one just because I would just never do it. The second mission we'll take a look at is actually called Vehicle Recovery. Now this one is also really easy, but there is one particular mission or one particular location where this takes you that might be one of the most annoying missions in the game. So what this vehicle recovery mission is, I mean, you're going to recover a vehicle. It could be a good vehicle. It could also be the vehicle you're going to see in this particular mission, which is a freaking van. The first time I did this mission, it was fine. I had to go get a bike. That bike was fast. Well, this one, we had to go to the Humane Labs. And if you've done any of these contracts, you might have hit this one already. In the Humane Labs, you must go steal like a UPS truck that has a monkey in the back. And then you have to drive that slow freaking truck all the way across the city back to your agency, making this mission so damn tedious. So this one, I don't want to say that you should skip it if you see it in your contract list, because the other ones you get, the other locations you go to, it's not that bad. You have to go, I went to the LSIA to go steal a bike at one point, which wasn't too bad. I'm sure there's other locations around that are a lot easier, but the problem is you have a chance you get this stupid monkey Humane Labs one, and that it's just not fun. Maybe if you get it, just instantly fail somehow, so you can just refresh and start over. But this is one of the more annoying missions in the game, just simply because you have to drive that slow vehicle across the entire map. If you do want to do these missions though, this structure of missions, the only thing that might be a little hard is finding the door lock whenever you're in these like areas where you have to open the garage doors. Usually it's on the wall. I mean, you can see it in the gameplay. It was just on the wall, and it does show up, but you have to get right next to it, which is a little annoying. And when you're in the LSIA of all places, and you're in this giant hangar trying to look for the little door controls, sometimes it's annoying. But I mean, apart from that, this one is a pretty standard structure of a mission. Go somewhere, kill the people, get the vehicle, and then go back. And apart from the monkey mission, the other ones are still very easy. So this one is a pretty solid one to do. The third mission we'll take a look at is the one called Gang Termination. And this one is actually really easy if you have the right equipment. So for the particular one we had to do, we had to go to the ship and then kill the lieutenants. There's a number of easy ways to do this. I mean, you can have a helicopter with missiles that blow things up. I'm going to do it with the Avenger here because that's another easy way to do it. Also, if you have like a weaponized Tampa, I've seen that's actually a very good weapon or vehicle to use in this. The armored Kuruma is another good one. Basically something that's got armor that you can easily kill people without taking damage yourself. And for this particular mission, this Gang Termination, it's literally just go somewhere and just murder everything. Now, one annoying thing I was having issues with in the Avenger here is when you're in the cannon, you can't actually see where the NPCs are. So that was very annoying. And eventually I had to get out of the Avenger, go on foot to find the last lieutenants, which was a little annoying. I'm sure if this is in a location that's not on a ship, it'd be a lot easier, but it is something to keep an eye out. The only other thing, if you are using like a buzzard or something like that, for instance, you need to be very quick to kill the NPCs because they will do damage and your plane or helicopter will probably go down if you don't kill them quick enough, which is almost why I would maybe recommend like the Avenger or the armored Kuruma or something that does have more armor. But this Gang Termination one is another very easy mission to do. I would definitely pick this one out of some of the other ones. The fourth mission, this one is actually called Liquidize Assets. For this particular mission, normally you just follow an NPC to a certain area and then just kill a bunch of people in that area. This particular one we have to follow the helicopter. I think normally though, it's usually just someone like in a car or something. And if they do go by car, I've seen people actually just shoot at the NPC, so they basically get spooked and then they hurry up to the location. So if you do find the NPC being a little slow, maybe try that. Once you get to the location though, like I said, it's very, very simple. Simply, you just walk inside, kill a bunch of people, kill whatever assets you have to liquidize, and then you just blow up the building. And then you escape. Now, the one problem with this one is this is one of the few ones where you do get stars on you, and you can see we have 4 stars right here. So for this particular mission, I would definitely get used to going like, you know, underground or something right afterwards, like in the sewers or something. You could also utilize switching like hat and glasses to get a star off if it's blinking, if the stars are blinking. So while this particular mission might be easy, it might take a little bit longer simply because you do have to lose the stars after the fact. So I would maybe, if you have other options, other better options, I would do those rather than this one. Next, the 5th mission we have is Recover Valuables. This honestly is probably one of the easiest mission structures, mainly because what you can do is if you're a CEO, just simply go into the interaction menu and then drop some bull shark testosterone. That'll last for about a minute and you are basically unkillable when you're in that mode. And it makes running through these missions very easy. I mean, I guess technically you could do this for all the other missions, but This particular mission, it makes it easier too, because you have to go into these small spaces usually to kill people. The one we're at is actually at the Tequila La. And one thing you can try to do if you want to switch it up, it may backfire on you though, is you can use Molotov cocktails, especially in here. You just throw a couple down, like literally only 1 or 2, and the fire should spread throughout almost the entire area, killing everything. You can see, even though my friend went in first and kind of took everything out, I did throw a couple of Molotov cocktails in there, and I think I ended up dying to my own fire because the fire just spreads everywhere. So that could be something that you do that makes things a lot easier. Otherwise, again, just pop that BST, go in there with like a shotgun or something, just kill everything. Also for this, at least in the Tequila La, we had to find a safe number combination. It does move. So I've gotten this one a couple of times now, and that safe combination is not in the same place every time. So don't be expecting that. But this is probably one of the more easier security contracts. And then that leads us to the final one, which is the rescue operation. And this one is probably the other easiest security contract if you have either a buzzard or like a Sparrow, a helicopter that can shoot missiles. It's as simple as literally just going to the location, finding where the person you have to rescue is, and then just killing all the people around them. And the missiles do lock on to those NPCs, which is why I would recommend a Sparrow or a buzzard. Even using those missiles, the guy I was rescuing, his health didn't go down too bad. So I think you should be fine by just spamming missiles in this. But then just pick him up and then drive the helicopter all the way to where he has to go. Very, very easy with this one. Although I have seen this mission actually bug out a couple of times. So maybe that's something to look out for. Like the guy just won't go in that yellow circle at the end. But as far as the actual mission goes, again, very, very easy. So those were all 6 missions. Hopefully you can figure out, I guess, for yourself, which ones you think will be better for you, depending on like the equipment and stuff you have. Also, for sure, keep in mind some of those things that have been in the game for a while. Like I mentioned, changing your glasses when the things are flashing so you can remove a star. Using the BST through the CEO menu so you get like a little benefit going in. You can, as an MC member, if you're on like an oppressor or your favorite bike, you'll regenerate health when you're on that. Like you got to use these things that have been in the game for a while, and all of that will help you out with these missions. But overall, I would definitely say skip asset protection if you get that, and don't be afraid to sort of use different vehicles, because different vehicles will help in certain missions. Another thing I'll mention is just the sheer amount of money you'll end up making if you do decide to go for the 500 total security missions. I mean, just doing some very simple math, if you take the average, let's just say $50,000 is the average you make per mission. Obviously, some are as low as like 30K, some are as high as 75K. That's why 50K in the middle. And then you times that by 500, that's like $25 million. So even though it might take a while to get that 500, you're going to be compensated pretty decently for it. So that's just another thing you might want to think about if you end up going this route. Not only are you going to get that $50,000 per day passive income, but you're also going to get all the money that comes along with doing these security contracts. So again, another thing to think about. The final thing I'll say on these security contracts, you can call Franklin to request one like through the phone, so you don't need to go back to the agency. And that is cool if you don't care about what you get, but the problem is it is going to be completely random. You can't choose if you want a specific mission type. You also can't choose if it's going to be one that pays more versus pays less. So unless you're just super far away from your agency, I would just go back to the agency and do it through the computer in there. You just get more options, and you can make sure your life is a lot easier when you go through these missions. So anyway, that's going to do it for today's video. Thank you guys for watching. If you guys have any other tips on these security contracts, for sure, let us know. Also, is anyone out there crazy enough? Is anyone trying to hit 500? Let us know in the comments section down below. But anyway, that's going to do it for the video. Thank you guys for watching. And as always, I'll see you all in the next one.